Let's get this started. Welcome back, Dividend Stackers. Let's see here. I'm just trying to get my comments here on the side here before we get started. Let's see. I think maybe I can do it this way. And we'll just mute it there. I love your Diddy style. Welcome. All right, let's see. Yes, it does. So let's let the comments roll in a little bit. Let's see. All right, let me get this ready here for everybody to see. All right, I'm just trying to refresh some things because the internet here is not the greatest, but we are definitely, actually, that's nice there. I like that. You sold it at 530, Wavy, S Wavy? All right, my stuff is not loading. That's not good. All right, so while that loads there, let me see if I can do it from my phone here. And I wanted to update it. All right, let's go. And let's share the window. We're going to go here. We're going to share. We're going to update it live here and see where we stand here. The last update right there. See what that looks like there. Okay, I think it's kind of slow. Try to change the internet here. Hopefully it doesn't. Is that better there? I think so. Okay. Stop, share. Here we go. You guys can probably see that. There we go. All right. So was currently sitting at $4.07. It did close at 4.02, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check there. ULTY closed at 4.02. So let's go. Currently at scary. All right, so the drop continues. From the price in ULTY, right? So I did went ahead and buy. I did went ahead and buy. So on 11. On 11/18. Oh, this is the dividend side. Sorry. I had 2604.012553. The dividend was 0.064. Is that what it was? Let's see here. Yield max, yield max, yield max. Yeah, 642. So that was giving me $167. Orleans, I did drip, and we dripped it at $4.03, I believe. Yeah, 0.03. So got me another 41 shares. That is the manual. It was ROC 100%. All right, the transactions. This is where I did buy. I'm sorry. Back to the dividends here. This actually, and I'm sorry, the 20th. The 20th and the transactions here, 11/18/2025. I bought OTY. And I actually ended up buying sure why here in a minute at 0.03. And we dripped. So there's the market buy. And that was COT, I'm sorry, 11/18/2025. Yeah, 11/18/25. YOLO as reinvestment at 4.03 cents. And this was going to be the drip of 167.09, was it? 18. From 11/20. And this is plus market buy plus I think that would have been 41, so 42 shares. So just making a note for myself, and I'll share why here. So I added on the 18th, I added, where's my transactions? Nope. Yep, so I deposited another 1,000 there, and that was for added money for margin buffer. So yeah, so I went ahead and put another 1,000 in there for the buffer so that we can take care of that part because now the margin sits at Okay, so portfolio value 10,091 and 63 cents right now currently. No cash. Maintenance requirement is now 2787.21, which is weird because obviously I added more, but okay. My buffer now sits at 72.19 cents. And what I've used right now stands at 1030.50. And that means my available margin now is 13,063.68. And my maintenance ratio is now 25%. I should put 4% there. And still sitting at 5.25% there. I think on the video when I was watching, I said $5.25. That was incorrect. And this is the reason why, because of that. That's why I only dropped it to that. It actually dropped me to like 800 something. And that's why I ended up buying an extra 42 shares. So it's ended up being like about $163, I think it was. So that's the reasoning behind that. And I'm still going to take advantage of that margin there. So let's see here. Let's see some of the comments here. From the top here. So it's down like crazy. And I'll actually share that with you guys here because I was actually doing some. I actually did some option calls like I did last week on the holiday. This is updating. Let me try it. Getting off of here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I shared this last week. I used to do this for a little bit, but I stopped. And I wish I can share that with you guys. Let me try to share because I think the last time I couldn't. So let me actually, and the reason why I do this is because obviously, oh, it didn't stop sharing. No, it did stop sharing. Okay, it's a little behind on my phone here, so maybe it is behind on yours as well. But let's see here. Yeah, it's not updating. Okay, maybe I won't be able to show you guys that. That's it's kind of weird. I wanted to show you guys this. All right, so let's read some of the comments, see if it actually goes. Let's try this here. Damn it, it's there, but I'm not sure if they can see me here. All right, there we go. All right, we're live again. I apologize about that. I don't know, the internet worked last time, so we'll see here. All right, so let's see if I can get this. Okay, it's working. All right, so here we are. Let's see, notifications. All right, I can't see. If you can see me, can you put it on the chat there? Okay, okay, we're back. Yeah. All right, so let me share here. Let's see what that looks like there. I can't see the live chat though on my phone. Let's try that again here. Let's take off of Wi-Fi there and all right, we're back. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna go entire screen. We're gonna show, and here we are. Okay, so this is the count. So what I was trying to share with is what I had been doing on a couple weeks ago, or sorry, last week I started doing it again. And this is the SPY of what I currently have it. I actually, I kind of like this because I told you guys I do have a 401k account, which is my TSP, and I actually sold out here. This is on the 4 hour and what I like watching it on. So you can see here that I sold out, actually sold out here, but the TSP doesn't sell it to the next day. So I actually got out right here, but it's been down here below the line. I can share a lot of this on another video, but basically that is my reason for that. When you go to the 1 day, today it actually also marked the day or where's it at? That's not, is that daily? No, that's 1 minute. Here's the daily right here. So on the daily, you can see here that also marked the day. I'm sorry, also marked the sell point. This is important because when you look at the last time it marked a sell or a buy, you have to go back all the way down to April, what was it, April 24th, 2025, right? So that's the last time I actually got in there. Now, I was using this for day trading. I'll show you guys here in a minute what that looks like. But I actually sold out here the last time. I bought again and then I sold off again before that. So I missed all this downfall. I bought again here, but then after this, all of this has been a buy, even on some of the pullbacks that we had. I think this was a major pullback here. And then, of course, this was a major pullback. So if we crack that, I think for sure on SPY, we go down lower. But that was my sell signal. The reason why I say that, well, I'll share this also on this side. Make sure that refreshes. I actually use this for day trading today. And this is on the 5 minutes, on the 1 minute here. This is QQQ, not on the 1 minute here. This was at about right here. That's when I got in. So I missed this part. I was at work. I took a break. And I got in here and it just dropped. It made a pretty good amount here. The premiums were a little bit higher, and I'll show you guys here. I was just trying to show you guys this last time, but you can see here I sold SPY for one contract for $553, but I bought it for $417, right? And so I ended up selling it. I kept canceling the order because it kept going higher. So obviously my stop loss was actually I kept moving it up, right? And it finally sold at $5.53. So that ended up being a profit of, does it show it on here? I like it on my phone better, but I don't actually have a way to show it here. These are the ones that I was trying to show the last time. So there's my $1,000 buy in there. But these were the ones I did earlier on Monday. I'm sorry, I did that one today, but I can only do 3 because of the pattern day trader, right? I was on a cash account before. Now I'm on a margin, obviously. But I actually ended up buying this one for 304, and sold it for 475. So that was a pretty good profit. However, I started off the day bad at 330, and then sold it at 247. So if you guys see here, I bought it for 330, and sorry, I sold it for 247, and I bought it for 330. So I lost $83 there. So that wasn't good. But then I obviously bought it for $300. The next one, and that one 475. So I made $175 back plus what was that, $80, $83. So plus $83 there. So I made $92 on that one. Plus the other, what I made today was a 135, I think it was. So what was that? 553. 553 minus 417. So $136 that I made on that one, but I can't trade for another couple days because of the pattern day trading. So I do use this and I do like it. It's not the best because obviously nothing works. You guys saw the other one there where I lost it and I just had to sell. But this would have been a nice write up, nice write down. You're done for the day. Made a little bit, made more than ULTY they're paid for this week, right? Almost. But this is, and I had the free version. I think TradingView is going to have an 80% sell. So if you guys like that, that's probably going to be good here. But I'll show you guys ULTY. This was ULTY on the daily. And the last time, and maybe we should have got out. I don't know. Well, let's see here. That was the sell point there on ULTY. I'm not sure how many people are watching that, but this was on September 25th shows, right? The price was $5.58. I think we had somebody in the chat said 550. Where did they sell? 530. You would have at 530. I'm assuming that's what we're saying. But it's been a ride down there, right? Even with the dividends, it has not made up. So let me see some of the comments. So I'm still buy more, just round up for the split. How low do you think it'll go? I'm not sure. I think with this change here, hopefully it stabilizes. But it's always long term for me. That's why I continue to do that. Once I drop down the margin, I'm going to continue to reinvest the drip. So, and then I'll try to keep it at about 1,000. The only reason I won't use 1,000 margin if I go back to this, which so far has been profitable. The only problem is I don't have the time to do it because it's in the morning time, and now I'm at work. I used to work nights and I'd be able to do that, but I was tired at that point, and trying to stay up and watch that wasn't really ideal. But definitely was something that it. You don't need a lot of the move there, and I only did a 1 day contract, I guess. Is that how you say it? I'm trying to think about it because I haven't done it in a while. I used to do 0 DT as 1 DT. I used to do 0 DT. However, I think that's how you can actually get taught a lesson real fast, right? So, but yeah, check that out. That's actually pretty good there. But again, the reason why, and I think I was watching this part and I was like, oh man, it's getting kind of crazy there. But on the 4 hour, you can see here that we've been trading. There's been a lot of signals going on there. So the last one was to sell, and I go back again. This is SPY. I go back again to, if you would have got back in here on April 25th, you would have bought that, you could have rode it the whole way up. And that is, let me see, SPY was at that point at 540, and what SPY ended up being going all the way to 683. I think it was the highest, 687, I believe. I don't have all this here because 687, I think it was 689. Yeah. But that's why I did that. Yeah. All right, so let's see. So if you guys, and I actually was looking at WPay, and maybe we start trading this. I don't know. Not because it's better than ULTY, because it's not. Yeah, I can show you guys here all of those WPay cheerleaders. Because look at this here. If we would have sold here on WPay at $46, it looks like. No, that was not the drop. That's the 1 minute. Sorry, $4. Sorry, 4 hour. I'm all over the place here. It's the 4 hour. Okay, there it is. All right, so check out that drop too from 55, 57. I think the 4 hour didn't show yet because there's not enough data in there. I think it was on the 30 minute, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there it is. The sell point would have been at 50.24. And you would actually been able to avoid that whole loss there. So I like this tool. Definitely something that I think I'm going to monitor, and I'm gonna see if I can actually catch these. Let's see what else we can check. There's one YMAG, I think was the one. I think somebody had said that. Let's see YMAG here. Yep, there it is. That's a 30-minute. I think YMAG has enough data for the 4 hour, but you can see here the sell signal would have been there to sell out. That's pretty interesting, right? So we can check some more tickers here if you want to check them out here on the live while we're at it. But back to the portfolio. I added all of that here. Added that here. The positions, did it change to 27.26? I think that's what I have now. Let's see here. 26. 27.26, yeah. So that's where we're currently at. Obviously, that's counting the dividends already in there. That's not going to get paid till tomorrow, and not the end of the week yet. And I think let's see here. And so right now it's at $4.10, which it's not going to make a big difference here for the grand scheme of things. But it's nice to see that it's actually a little bit up. I think NVIDIA had a pretty good news today, and I'm not sure if they actually held their. See if they held their. Let's go to CNBC here. You guys want to check out the. I think that's what everybody came to see, right? Let's see here. Let's check. Actually, can I see it on TradingView? Let's see. NVDA. How do I change the? Okay, I'm not sure how to do this part. Let me see. Is that it? So it looks like it's trading up 195 right now. So that was actually, I think the markets are going to open up higher. So a question there says, would it be better to sell the shares before ULTY? You know what? Ultimately, it's up to you on what you want to do there. I'm not. I do believe in, like I said, we talked about that, the split, and I think a lot. I think we've all discussed it. All different creators have discussed what a split does as far as um, an ETF like ULTY, because it has multiple holdings. So it's not really the split that'll make it. Now, if this was like a regular stock, definitely will. It'll drop. So, but because it has underlyings on there, the stock itself that they hold would have to fall, which has been doing, but it's not because of the reverse split necessarily, right? So I think if you haven't not seen that, how that works on an ETF, do your due diligence and make the decision for yourself. For me, that I'm going to continue to ride this out and keep pushing the dividends back in and see it play out. Unless for some reason it's a heavy loss, but I don't think that's something that will happen. I mean, it could happen, but I trust in the way it's going. I think you guys saw some of the changes that ULTY is also making. Mike Coe, I think his name is. He's involved in it now. You've seen some of the trades that they're making as far as trying to stabilize it. If you get 80% yield, I think that was 80% yield was this time that they paid out. 80% yield, 6.4. I think that's what it was. 80% yield. I'm confident. I'm comfortable with that, and I'm confident as long as the NAV doesn't erode, that would be fine. And this price that you're seeing here as is falling down, it's not just because of NAV erosion, right? At least I don't think so. Now that's my personal opinion, but when you look at this part right here, when it's been falling, that is basically all of the markets that have been doing that. You know, we were just looking at even NVIDIA had fallen, right? Let me take this off of. That's why I don't like doing that. I just run regular trading hours. Even NVIDIA, when you look at this part, see how it's fallen down. It's not just ULTY, it's the underlyings. If you go at any underlying that it had, it's done that, but it's not just ULTY. You guys were just seeing WPay. Actually, WPay had got hit pretty hard, and so did all the other funds like that. I think ULTI, I think, was the worst. Look at that. KYLD. Pretty bad, right? What are some other ones that we want to see there? But I think those are the major ones that people were saying was better than ULTY, right? Or ULTY. I mean, KYLD, I believe, was named as in killing ULTY, if I'm not mistaken, or I think that's what it was, killed. KYLD, killed. And WPay was like the greatest thing that ever happened to dividend investing, right? Everybody was on there, and look at that, and it was great. I mean, like, it had gone up, it dropped down a little bit, and it was great, and it was up there. But then it's not just ULTY, you know. So when you look at that, you can see here how it actually has played out. If I was not doing the channel or the experiment, and I had seen this, I probably would have sold out here and then let it ride and then come back in, because obviously that would have been the smart thing to do. But I really want to see if it actually works out the way it's intended to, the way all the yield max executives, I guess, would talk about it and how it's meant to be. But I still believe in the actual way it's supposed to work, right? And we've seen it work. So, but everything is being hit. One thing I was going to show you guys was this one, winter. And maybe I do that. Maybe we go with something that actually goes the other way. You can see here on the daily, winter actually shows pretty good gains there. But obviously, winter is the opposite of Misty, right? And that was going down there, and now it's up. I don't see my. I think it's because the new one I had to put it on the 4-hour. So the 4-hour. Oh, actually, it didn't give me a buy signal till now. Probably because it was too new there. But that would have been a nice little run there to be able to got that and get dividends. I think what did it pay out here? $1.46, 61 cents, 59 cents, 73 cents, 82 cents, and this last one, almost 85 cents. The other one is Salty. I think somebody was. Or as one of the channels calls it, Slutty. It's kind of funny. Let's see. Yeah, so it's been falling. We got to buy there. So I don't know. Like I said, it depends. But I'm just going to run ULTY, and then I will, and even shows here the split's going to be here on it'll trade on 1 at 10 on Monday, December 1st. But I'm just going to run the experiment, continue to run it how it was intended to run, and then I'll adjust as needed there. Let's see. All right, so let's go to X here. I think one of the things I wanted to see was the comments that they were actually saying. I didn't get to read them last time I did. Let's see what they had. If you guys want to follow me on X, I do have X. I do have a Twitter. I do have X. I have a TikTok. I have a Instagram, and I do have a Reddit account also, all under the ULTY YOLO. I don't post there yet. I was posting, but I just concentrate on YouTube to make sure that goes in there. YouTube actually has posts. It has any interaction that I would do with the other ones. And I think this is the best way to actually get that information out. And then as the channel grows, I may move over to some other ones. But here's the Yield Max one. It paid out. Let me see here. There's the payouts. I think Salty was the one that actually paid out the most in yield, if I'm not mistaken, this last week. All right, so some of the comments here. If ULTY does a reverse split and generates similar dividends, the compounding happens faster. This is your only chance to redeem this fund. Don't mess it up. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it'll actually compound faster because it's actually compounding the same amount of dividends. It's just 1 to 10, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it compound faster? The worst ETF planet ever, making gains from one side and losing them from the other one. Leave ULTY for YMAX. YMAX was the other one. I think we clicked on, I think the one we clicked on was YMAX or YMAX. Let's check that one out. I don't know. This is one of the monthly ones, though. Yeah, it still pays monthly here. It paid 13 cents. I don't know. 15 cents, 17 cents, but it's a $10. I don't know. I don't know about that one. What do you guys think? What's going to happen to the NAV? That's yet to be determined, right? YMAX pays weekly now? See some of the comments here. Bro, chill and collect the distributions. Yeah, I definitely will. That's the plan, in anyways. But YPAX pays weekly now. It doesn't show it on. Oh, that's on 30-minute. You're right. I don't know. This looks worse than ULTY. Oh, that's why it's okay. I see. All right. So yield max sucks. The management sucks. They don't care about the NAV erosion, and they care about this taking your money. All they care about is taking your money. 10K weekly payers beating YMAX this week. Okay. I see that Missy went back to monthly. Did it go back to monthly? Does anybody know if Missy went back to monthly? I always wanted to get into Missy, but the reason why I don't go into single ones is because it's just one. So if it does drop, it definitely you'll feel it. The ULTY still holds different ones. So that's why I would not get into Missy, although it has a good potential to be up. I think I saw some people saying that they're actually up on it. I don't know how. Let's take a look at that. I don't know how, because back here, yeah, it had a pretty good run, came down, came back up, and then it's just been selling off. These guys draining millions in fees a week. It's pathetic. So that's one of the things I wanted to see here. Let me see if it actually shows it. Let me stop sharing here real quick. Let's push the wrong button there. All right. So here it is, $4.10. What I wanted to see was the actual AUM. Now it sits at 1.5 billion, right? So that's the one part that I think we're going to see, and I think you got to be prepared for that. And if it drops under $1 billion, I think a lot of people are going to leave. It's already more than half of what it was at this top. I think at one point it was 3.4 billion, I believe it was. So there was a lot of money in there, and now it's actually just starting to come down. And I think somebody pointed out that the NAV was at that the low was 399, and that's exactly where it was. But this is what everybody keeps talking about, is the expense ratio of what we're actually paying them. So I am confident on some of the changes that they're making. So we'll see what actually happens. To see, think they ended up buying for sure. They had some. What were some of the holdings that they had? Actually, I didn't see that. We can see them here. Let's go to the bottom. And did they report the same thing? Yeah, 1.5 billion. Or do they show the holdings, the top holdings here, like they used to? They don't. Let's see. Oh, yep, there it is. All right, so these are the changes. Direction daily. I think that's how you say it, direction daily. The treasury 3 times X, right? So that's one of the changes that's in there that was not in there before. We have companies like Meta. We have companies like Costco, and we have some gold in there. So that's one of the differences. So we'll see how that happens. I know if gold goes on a little run here again, like it has been, it would ride that out. I'm not sure what. Let me see. Van Eck. Yeah, so you can see there, gold definitely has gone up. So hopefully we're not buying at the top like we did that other stock. But yeah, so that's some of the things that are doing. So and see, let's read just a couple more comments. Damn, OT is in a full runway train at this point. If you're still on board writing this thing, you already know how it ends. How do you guys think it's going to end? Because I actually think it's going to be okay. We just got to let this stabilize a little bit. If SPY takes a downturn here, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm prepared for that. I think that's one of the things I may do here is actually put a SPY put on the shares just so I can buy some more as it comes down. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about that? I think that may be something that I can do. Or does anybody implement something like that? I think somebody said it was like an insurance that you can put on there just in case. We pay insurance for car insurance, you pay life insurance, you pay all kinds of insurance. I have home renters insurance. So it's something that's a logical point to be able to do. It makes sense to me. I just never had thought about that, especially the way that ULTY has been going down here, right? Or the SPY really. So you can't put them on this, but you can put it on something like SPY or one of the underlyings that's actually going down. That's maybe something that's interesting to do. I'll look at that up. Let me see what their top holding is here again. So had we done it on Palantir, but you know what? I don't think so. The whole point of ULTY is to not be able to do this. So I'm going to run the experiment the way it's supposed to run. I think freedom of speech and religion would agree. Just chill and collect the dividends. All right. So let's see here. So going back to the comments, where are they at? Nope. Right there. LFGI has the lowest pay rate. Kind of neat. Not to listen to the pundits a month ago and buying salty yellow, working on pretty good for me. So I don't know. I'm just going to keep holding it. I think that's the best thing to do. I will keep you guys updated on everything. I definitely I can share my experience with it, and that way you guys can see how it actually runs. I don't anticipate moving out of this, so it would be constantly be getting that information out to you guys, and if anything changes. But it'd be interesting to see where we go from here. I know there's a lot of people that jump out. Obviously, you guys saw that from the AUM. And there's a lot of haters out there talking about it, but you can see everything else. I love to see. I think there's one YouTube video that I won't, or YouTuber that I won't mention, but he lost like $60,000 on WP. Right, it would have been 80,000. He says if he would not got out, and he was trashing ULTY, and then he was trashing YMAX for sure, and then he's trashing WPay. And all the things he's doing, he shows his $500,000 account, right? And he lost 60,000 on that. So if you're gonna be in ULTY, I think you definitely make sure that you understand how it works, have conviction over what it actually does and how it pays out and how it's going to write out. There is the term that says it's okay to be wrong, and it's not okay to stay wrong, right? I'm not at that point yet, and I see it going down like that. It's part of the process, right? But everything else has as well. So I know my 401k account felt it a little bit, or the TSP account, and I've seen it go down, especially during Liberation Day. And then afterwards, it just completely shot up. And this is actually what happened on that. So I'll continue to trade these. If you guys don't know, I share that on there because I think somebody asked last time what it is the range filter on the 5 minute, the buy sell, and then the volumatic vid. Yeah, I guess that's how you say it, by Big Beluga, and it shows it on there. You always want to make sure you stay informed on everything. That account is definitely obviously a lot bigger and what I really watch, but I would never put that into ULTY. Everything else, I will continue to watch the margin there to make sure I drop it. And unless I want to do some more day trading, which I'll share with you guys as well, I will make sure that I communicate that. So let's see here, a classic drip. It says he is holding 300 shares. So I like ULTY, and the holdings going to get better, and the reverse play is good. So the one reason why I'll say that I do think that I like Mike Cole, or I think that's what you say, Mike Cole, how he actually has the experience of doing things. He's getting more involved there. And I do believe they don't want to lose money. They make too much there on this AUM to let it just drop. Even if it stabilizes, it's going to be a really good payout in the long run, right? So I always tell you guys, it is getting. Some people say, "Well, you're getting your money back." Yes, you are getting your money back at first, but what happens when you got all your money back and then it continues to pay and pay and pay, even if it's at 6 cents, even if it's at 2 cents, right? Everything is profit from that point. But you have to be willing to go through that in order to get to the ultimate point there, right? So, and a lot of people just jump off. You see it on SPY, everybody jumping off and calling, the end of the world. I think I saw that they call it the AI bubble, right? I truly don't think it's an AI bubble. There's way too much invested into that and I guess that's what they would say is the AI bubble. But I think somebody put it to me this way: this is like just electricity coming out. They're putting the light posts out on the streets right now, and there's barely lights in the streets, and there's no houses have lights. Nobody's using it yet like it's intended to be. Imagine when those lights start going into the homes, right? And what I mean by that is, if you go into like all the AI, the chat GPTs, it's just a chat box basically. It has information in there, but it's not really. It's doing a lot, but it's not doing what the ultimate outcome is going to be. You go to some of these video makers. If you guys haven't tried like Sora and the one from Google, it's a 10-second video that you're barely making in there, right? So imagine when it gets to 30 seconds and a minute and a whole hour. Like, we're not even there yet. You're 10 seconds in. Imagine when you get to like a 2-hour movie that you can make on there. You haven't even touched it. Now you're gonna feel some pain there as it goes down, but we have not even touched the beginning of it, and it's actually something that's happening. So is it a bubble? There's a lot of money in there, yeah. I don't think it's the bubble that they think that's gonna do. But again, that's my own opinion. None of this is financial advice. Obviously, what I'm doing is just what I'm doing in ULTY. I'm sharing it as we go along. You can see there the price actually hasn't been up like that in a little bit. I'm not sure if that's because NVIDIA, because they are holding NVIDIA in there. Some of the shares at 5% of the ETF is holding that. But it's nice to see that actually climb up a little bit. So we just need some stability there, get some payouts going. We'll see what happens when the reverse split happens. I do have to update my spreadsheet here because I'm not sure I'm going to work that in. I'll have to figure that part out because that's going to change. I changed the price here to let's say it was there and I changed it to $40.10. My account will look like it's like it worked out for the good. So I had to figure out those formulas and how I'm going to do that. I'll continue to share my journey here. Let's see here, 412 that we see there currently. And I'll keep making the videos on the weekend. I'll continue to do lives. I'm getting better at this. So that is something that I'm going to continue to focus on and seeing what I can do and what I can share with you guys. If you guys have any ideas of what you guys want to see here on the lives, any questions there, if you guys have any questions now, you go ahead and ask them. You guys can put them on the post there. I'll continue to post those and just keep you guys completely transparent on actually what happens here. You guys you saw a lot of creators jump in and jump out, got their views up, got their subscribers up, and then they jumped out, right? And again, everything's managing your money, obviously, because there's real money in there. Some of them have more, but I'll continue to show you guys this day in, day out, on the weekends for sure. And I appreciate everybody watching those videos and hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button, all the comments, the good or the bad, right? I told you guys this before. I'm not here to defend ULTY. I'm just here to show the transparency behind it. There's some comments that make sense on both sides. And I'm going to just continue to stick to this and make sure I keep pumping out the videos to show you what happens there. But let me see here. The last comment here that I'll see is, thank you. I have 23,000 shares. I'm buying more ULTY, holding long term. Same thing here. Definitely believe in that. I try to, and one of the things I caught myself saying is definitely, I'll work on that. Not a YouTuber, obviously, yet, I guess. I guess I can share that with you guys. I really do appreciate that. The last thing, because I want to be as transparent as possible here. Let me open up another page of where we currently stand here on the viewers. Let's go to and I apologize for earlier today with the whole internet. I'll make sure I get that figured out. Let's see. All right, so sitting at 14,494 subscribers, and this is showed here. There it is. Yes. Congrats on reaching 4,000 hours of watch time. Keep giving them what they want. So I appreciate you guys. Obviously, you guys like the content there, and I'll continue to make sure that we push that through. On the earn part, it hasn't updated yet. Just waiting for that part to update here at the bottom. It's sitting at 3,907, but I'll continue to be transparent on you guys so you guys can see it there. Didn't jump in for that, but I appreciate the views, the comments, the likes, and everything there that goes with it. So with that, I'll see you guys on, let me actually show that. See you guys on the weekend video. I'll update you guys, and ULTY YOLO out.